Today we're going to be talking about Wrath of the Lich King tips and tricks I guarantee you do not know. And if you learn at least one new thing, I want you to click that like button. And if you learned absolutely nothing, I want you to click that dislike button, because I guarantee that you're going to learn something new today. And I want you to leave a comment on the most game-changing tip you ever heard, whether it's from this video or not. Let's hear it and let's get right into it. All right, tip number one is the one-click spec swap. So if you have a character like a shaman or a paladin or any other class where you're going to have dual spec, this is going to be your one-click spec swap. It's going to change your gear and it's going to change your spec in just one button. Super simple. As you can see, I'm now in completely different gear. This is my PvP elemental gear, and when I'm ready to go raid, I can easily click resto. You can see I got my tier gear back on, tier 7, and boom, I'm back to resto spec. And then there you go. Now, there are some prerequisites. Of course, you need to use Equipment Manager. And so you can see here, I've got some different gear sets. And in order to activate that, you go to Interface and you go to Features, use Equipment Manager. Now, once you've got Equipment Manager set up, you can save your set or whatever, right? Once you've got your set names, you got to head over to the macros. I created some Toyhouze specific macros. Here's the resto one. So the first line is going to be equip set and then the name of your set. So you can see here, I named my set resto. So I put resto. And then for the second line /run SetActiveTalentGroup 1. And the reason I use 1 is because if we open up our talents right here, it's the top one. So this is for number 1 and this is for number 2. If we hop over back to the macros, look at Ellie, same thing, equip set elemental, and then I'm setting SetActiveTalentGroup to 2. And there you go. That's an easy way for you to not worry about switching your gear and switching your talents. You get that one button click to just change everything all at once. And you can see it just happens automatically every single time. That's tip number 1. All right, tip number 2. If you've ever tried to convert your emblems of valor to emblems of heroism and got really sick of this pop-up window every single time you're trying to change it, so you click yes, see, it just happens so slowly, right? If only there was an easier way. Well, with this macro I'm showing you today, we're going to find the simple solution, which is basically just click this, click the macro, click this, click the macro, and I have it mouse key button 3, so you can just really quickly, boom, look at how fast I'm going through this. Just mouse button 2, then mouse button 3, and you can way faster convert your emblems from heroism to valor, or sorry, from valor to heroism, you know, and then later, once you get your emblems of conquest, you can convert your conquest to valor really easily. And the reason I'm moving my mouse is because you can't use the macro while moused over this little trade window. So I'm just moving it over to convert. And so that's how you do it really fast. You don't have to worry about that yes window. And so the macro itself is, let's go look it up really quick right here. /click static pop-up 1 button 1. You could probably change this to be button 2 if you want to say no every time, but we want to say yes. So we pop this open again. Actually, I converted all mine already, but that's basically how you do it. Use this macro. You can constantly click yes. So hopefully that speeds things up for you when you're converting currency. All right, tip number 3, we're going to go ahead and enter this cave. I'm going to show you how you can get out super fast using what's known as a log out skip. Now, let's say you're going into this cave to get some Saronite ore in our example, or whether you're doing a quest, whatever it is, I'm going to show you how you can get out of the cave in 20 seconds by using a log out skip. All right, guys, so let's say you went all the way through this cave. That was a super long walk, right? And you did it all because you want this Saronite deposit, okay? So yeah, you gotta get rid of these mobs really quick. Okay, now that the mobs are dead, right? You want this Saronite deposit. It took forever to get into this mine in the first place. And so check this out. We're just gonna find an object that's like off the ground, like this. Could be anything, could be a rock. We're just gonna log out. And check this out. Once we're done logging out, we're going to be teleported instantly outside the cave, and it'll save you from walking all the way back out of the cave, and you're able to grab your Saronite as you're going on with your farming. Boom, there it is, guys. Now we're outside of that cave we were just in. This was the cave we were in. We're instantly out, and we can continue farming our Saronite without having to walk all the way back out of that cave. That'll save you a bunch of time. Also, what's really cool is that it works for all caves, not just this one. So if you're leveling or anytime you're in a cave or underground or other areas like that, you can just hop on like a rock or a mushroom all throughout different zones. And if you ever want to get out of a cave or something like that, just hop on a rock, log out. It'll be an awesome log out skip. It's going to save you a bunch of time. All right, moving on to tip number 4. This is how you're going to instantly teleport to Dalaran. Depending on what zone you're in, you can instantly teleport to Dalaran in a number of locations. Basically, you need to find a certain spellcaster who's going to give you the quest, the Magical Kingdom of Dalaran. Then they'll offer to teleport you to Dalaran instantly. And the most important thing about this trick is that you need to never turn it in. Right after I just accepted that, you need to go ahead and cancel it. There you go, abandon. And so now you can use this trick whenever you're in those areas to quickly get back to Dalaran. And there are a ton of areas. If we just look at the map right here, let's hide Questy. There are spellcasters located in Howling Fjord, Brian Tundra, Dragon Blight, Grizzly Hills, and Zuldrak for Alliance players, and also for Horde players, different NPCs, all circled here on the map where you just got to talk to them, accept that quest, and get teleported. And then just remember, abandon it, never turn it in. So you can always use this trick as a clever sort of exploit of gameplay mechanics to sort of Hearth to Dalaran ongoing, depending on what zone you're in. All right, tip number 5 is to instant cast AoE abilities, whether it's a bomb that does AoE damage or Death and Decay, Blizzard, Flame Strike, whatever. So basically, usually when you use your ability, you have this sort of area of effect indicator, and it's going to take you an extra click before your spell is actually cast, right? And so when you're actually trying to get stuff done as fast as you can, having a macro like this can really help. The first version I'm going to show you is going to instantly cast Death and Decay right where you're standing, so it's kind of like the Death Knight's version of Consecration. Check it out. One click. No needing to select anywhere where you're going to be casting anything. It just happens instantly as you click that button. Super cool. Going to help you save time from having to select. Maybe you miss, whatever. You don't even have to deal with that area of effect selection cursor. Now, the second version, I'm going to switch it out with the other macro, is going to do it where your cursor is. So instead of where you're standing, it's going to go where the cursor is. So let's point my cursor over by these two mages by the lamp post, and then we're just going to hit our macro. Boom, instantly going to put it exactly where your cursor is. So those are two different options for you depending on how you want to use this macro. It's going to give you two different options. Now, the macro for using the cursor, you just use #show tooltip and then /use @cursor in brackets, Death and Decay. And then if you want to do right where you're standing, the difference is /use in brackets @player, Death and Decay. Now, personally, I like the @player because I also play a paladin, as you just saw in the previous tip. So there's no problem with me just having that be my AoE ability right where I stand. Now, it might cause issues in like the Kel'Thuzad fight because of, animations, missing the void zone, etc. But it's up to you how you want to use these macros. Hopefully this is super helpful and gets you to use your abilities just that much faster, giving you an edge. All right, so you all know about the Ghetto Hearth, right? Well, in tip number 6, we're going to show you the no friends Ghetto Hearth. If you got no one in your guild, no one to call on to invite you to a group to help you with the Ghetto Hearth, worry not, because this is the friendless Ghetto Hearth. Basically, I created this macro that's going to basically get me into a group and then get me out of that group. Check this out. Just click it. See, as you can see in the bottom left, you leave the group was just activated, and in a few seconds we're going to see the countdown timer to be teleported. So in Wrath, it says it's going to be teleported to the nearest graveyard. You can still use this in cases where you're either 1, okay with being teleported to the nearest graveyard, or 2, use it in a version of the game where it's actually going to use your Hearthstone, like, I don't know, TBC or Vanilla. Just notice that they changed it to the nearest graveyard, so not as effective, but still it's going to teleport you to that graveyard if you need it. So the macro, that is right here, /run invite unit A, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to throw this in the description so you don't have to like look at this. You can just mouse over, copy, paste. Found it to be super helpful, so you don't have to whisper anyone if you need to get in a group for any reason. Hopefully that is helpful. All right, so for tip number 7, let's say you just learned a bunch of new abilities, right? And you basically don't know what is, updated, what's the max rank, open up here, you see some glowing stuff, you're like, oh, okay, what's the max rank now? Oh, okay, rank 12, okay, it's a big hassle, right? Now, if only there was an easier way. Well, there's actually a add-on that you can download called Nova Spell Rank Checker, and you can just click this button and it'll start glowing whatever is not max rank. So you can be like, oh, okay, Moonfire That's rank 10. Okay, here's rank 11. Okay, replaced it. Let's check again. Okay, awesome. We got that one updated. Now, what you can also do, once you have this other add-on called Spell Rank, you can just type in /spell rank, hit enter. Check this out. It just replaced every single spell that was not max rank with the max rank version, right? Let's check again. Boom, every single thing has just been updated. This is for sure my go-to for updating my spells. Once you're finished, going to a trainer, just type in /spell rank. That add-on is a game changer. Now, if you don't want to deal with add-ons, you could also just create macros. So for example, let's say new, you can just type in let's say /show tooltip /cast, let's say rejuvenation. Okay. And so this will also do max rank. If you ever make a macro that doesn't specify what rank, then it's always just going to default to the max rank. And so as you learn abilities, it will always use that max rank, which is really cool. So that's up to you. 3 different ways to keep your spells up to date. Very, very cool stuff. I personally love the /spell rank command from the add-ons spell rank. Highly recommend that one just to keep everything up to date. All right, tip number 8. This is the tip you've been waiting for, and this is really borderline an exploit. Today, I'm going to show you how you can open 2 cracked eggs a week. That's right. The mysterious egg after 7 days turns into a cracked egg, and there is a way to open 2 of them every single week. So start off by already being revered with the oracles, go to the quartermaster and purchase your first mysterious egg. After you have that, you're going to go ahead and destroy that mysterious egg, and then you're going to buy another one. Now, the most important part of this step is to go to the help request. I know, guys, this is quite borderline exploit. You're going to go into this help request and you're going to perform an item restore. So you're going to click this right here, item restoration. You're going to be like, oh, okay, let's open up a link. Once the item restoration window has opened up, you're going to go over here to begin item restoration. Okay. And then once you're logged in, you're going to have to choose your realm. Basically, you choose your character, you choose the item, you go through the item restoration process. I'm not going to do it because, I think it's kind of borderline an exploit, right? Okay, after you submitted your item restoration request, you're going to get your item that you destroyed in the mail. It's going to look something like this. It's going to be from customer support. It's going to have the subject, your item restoration, and it's going to have your egg. Now, when you mouse over it, it's going to say duration 7 days, but once you actually loot it and put it into your inventory, it's actually going to be a cracked egg. And you can actually see in this little screenshot of someone using this, you can see they loot 2 cracked eggs back to back. And so that's how you can open 2 mysterious eggs each week. You didn't learn it from me. I'm just kidding. I mean, you did learn it from me, but definitely borderline exploit tip right there.